Yeah, it's about a couple weeks away. You guys know that fantastic event where everybody's going to be traveling into Texas, and there's going to be a lot of burning salt everywhere as players not only get frustrated with the end-of-match procedures, they also get frustrated by Trickstars, Strikers. So it's time that we recap everything that we know and will expect from the North American WCQ. Shall we begin? The Clan de la Clan will be gathering in Texas, you know, the best of the best, getting their chance to participate in a giant salt fest fueled by terrible end-of-match procedures, fueled by Trickstar Sky Strikers railing on them, and it's going to just be a fantastic event. So glad I'm not going. So, I've been wanting to talk about what we can expect from the North American WCQ. Whether or not this be a video of information that you might already know, or just a rather more interesting showcase of overall events and things like that. So, let's start off with the meta. First off, I almost guarantee you Sky Striker Trickstar is going to win this event, at least for 100% sure, whether or not it be in North America and in Europe. One of the main competing decks, you know, Goki. Goki is a pile of shit in Europe right now. They don't have Link Karibo, so most of the combos that the European side of the game will produce have to be 3 to 4 card combos. And I know this is one of those things, it's like, oh, well, the gap between Shonen Jump promos and actual competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Are very different. It's amazing how much these 1 to 2 card promos are actually making a difference. You know, Link Karibo in the TCG turns, you know, a 3 to 4 card combo into a 2 card combo, which is actually absurd. You know, it's actually pretty fucking awkward, you know, knowing that one of the best decks that could compete, you know, had Summon and Sorceress been legal, you know, we might have actually seen a major upset. You know, Summon Sorceress does give a lot of bullshit to Goki in the grand scheme of things, and it probably would have allowed it, in the long run, to probably beats Trickstar Sky Striker. You know, the way that the current meta is gone, you know, the toolbox that Trickstar Sky Striker has going for it is amazing, but all it takes is one Goki player taking a 25-minute turn, shaving off their own clock to just end their turn. You know, something happens, you go into time, you know, all the other player has to do is summon Licorice, which is a continuous effect, and you just die to a very simple-esque game state. You know, I think that's the thing that these end-of-match procedures, I guess, try to promote. Simpler gameplay, in the fair sake of it all, but we do know that the best deck going into the event is going to be Trickster Sky Striker. You're doing two things this event. You're either playing the best or you're trying to beat the best. It's usually the way for most events, but unless you're playing the best deck, this event, you're going to be struggle-uggling just trying to get through it. Those end-of-match procedures are going to be your enemy this event. You need to be playing at a very appropriate pace. You need to make sure that you have a level of mastery for your deck for this event. If you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot misplay at this level of an event, you will get punished. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to scare anybody with this mentality here going into the WCQ, but let's be real here for a second. If you were like, oh, I picked up Goki last night, I'm going to play the deck for the event, you've already lost. Like, you need to have a level of mastery with that deck. You need to know all of your combo skill trees. You need to, I think the thing that kills a lot of players is the fact that they're like, I need to think for a second here. Every second that you waste trying to decide which skill tree to go down while playing the deck, it just punishes you in the grand scheme of things, because unfortunately your opponent can also burn down the clock. But as every second ticks away on that, you know, your own life is just decreping. So, God, that's so dark, isn't it? Just thinking about that. But level of mastery for whatever choice you take to the WCQ is absolutely crucial. Just because of those end-of-match procedures. If we didn't have such shitty end-of-match procedures, I still think Konami could very easily change the time to 45 minutes around and maintain the current end-of-match procedures, and I don't think it would affect anything. Honestly and wholeheartedly, an extra 5 minutes wouldn't kill. And I think a lot of the player base would be a lot more happy with maintaining these shitty rules and doing the 45-minute thing. But that's just my 2 cents on that. So, Trickstar Sky Striker will probably win almost like 99.9%. I don't see... The problem is the format's already been solved to the point of we know what's going on. There's no, like, hidden gem masterpiece. I don't see a Goki player getting incredibly lucky for the rest of the day. The only thing I could actually see maybe doing something, hear me out here, would possibly be pure Trickstar. Only because pure Trickstar, in the grand scheme of things, can still do a lot of really cool things. And I still think that arguably Trickstar, or pure Trickstar, has a decent matchup against the hybrid build, just because, you know, it still does have a lot of the same aspects as the hybrid. But those cards that you're not having named Sky Striker in the deck, they can often do a couple of really strange things and interactions to the deck. It's kind of weird when you look at pure Trickstar versus the hybrid, because obviously the hybrid is meant to be more consistent. But when you're looking at pure can just kind of come out of left field and just be like, hey, what's up? I don't know. It's just kind of something weird I've noticed. So if anything could do it, I think it would be pure Trickstar. Isn't it amazing when Trickstar has to go beat up Trickstar in order to save the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, Reincarnation's getting fucking something done to it. That or Licorice is just gonna go to 1, you know. I don't think Konami was like, oh, we gotta do something about Chain Burn because these end of match procedures are bullshit. Let's limit it. And then they looked at Trickster Licorice. They're like, you're not a problem at all. You haven't done anything in the last 6 formats. Boy, oh boy, were we strong. Mastery is something that is going to be very critical for this event. Good tech choices. Yesterday's video we were talking about, you know, things like Threatening Roar and Swift Scarecrow from the Japanese side of the game, where they were, you know, adapting in the side deck for the Eastern WCQ for the side deck. I definitely think I could see a reassurance, or recursion, I think it's my wording there. I could see something like Threatening Roar and Swift Scarecrow possibly being things to consider. We don't have Hayate, so Swift Scarecrow's value is down a little bit. But things like Threatening Roar, general chain ability cards to get your opponent off of your back, I could see kind of starting to pick up a little bit of pace. Just because allowing less starters to be in the current format, yeah. You know, things like that could definitely change the flow of the game. I definitely think tech choices are going to be the major, you know, turning point for the WCQ this year. When I say the format is solved, we know what the best decks are, but the little intricacies of card choices for the side deck are going to be the big thing. I mean, will Mind Crush still continue to be one of the powerhouses that slows down the metagame? You know, will these things exist? I don't think there are very many other things to really explore, but, you know, it's why innovation does exist, and that's why playtesting groups do explore these formats. So there is that. But unfortunately, the WCQ is going to be a rather bland event this year, just because of Sky Striker Trickstar going to be everywhere. If we didn't have these end of match procedures, I'd almost consider that pure might be a very good choice. But the fact that we don't have Hayate, the fact we don't have the ability to just basically be a starter, the deck just kind of crumbles under the end of match procedures. And it's a shame to say that, because I do love what pure does, but, you know, for the current point in time, the hybrid is going to just fantastically shit on everything. But returning the WCQ, make sure you get plenty of practice with your deck. Make sure you have a very deep understanding of the level of play in which you are going to be participating. Understand that the judge is your friend, and by friend I mean they're neutral. Your opponent does not always have your best interest at heart. I've got that in speech so many times throughout the years. If you have a ruling question, always do not listen to your opponent. Call for judge. Make sure the main game state maintains appropriate. Do not create an irreparable game state. Irreparable game state's that fantastic thing that you cannot fix because you missed an effect that was mandatory. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. We all miss those fantastic effects every once in a while. Ugh, even the best of us. So, hope you're ready for Sky Strike or Trickstar, the WCQ. What do you guys think? Am I being a little bit too harsh on the NA WCQ? I don't think I am. Also, those Millennium item dice are pretty fucking fire, I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, that's all I got for this video, guys. As always, please tell Red Dongo Robbie about your dongers and how great your life is. Alright, guys, peace out. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.